Hi everybody, this is Cameron from BIAB Homebrew Adventures. I haven't made a video in a really long time. I haven't stopped brewing, just it's hard to make videos when you're not a professional, if you know what I mean. But I just wanted to show you guys what my brewery is looking like right now. I'm still doing brew in a bag, and I've added some things to make it so I can do 10-gallon batches. That kind of was my goal. So obviously I needed a bigger brew kettle and a pump because it gets really heavy once you get above that 5-gallon batch. So I'll go through some stuff in this brew that I'm doing today. It's a brew that has basically the normal grains that you'd have for an IPA. It's about 30 pounds of 2-row, 4.5 pounds of 60, and about 1.2 pounds of carapils. And then the hops that are in this one are El Dorado and Cascade. It won an award at a local brewery here in town called the Phoenix, and they actually brewed it for the home brewer for winning the competition. So just using this as an example so you can see my brewery, and hope you guys like it. Thanks. So here are a couple changes I did in my brewery. I changed from a roughly 14-gallon kettle, they said it was 15-gallon, but it was not 15-gallon, to a 20-gallon kettle, which this is a much better kettle than I got. The first one was a pretty cheap one. This one here is from SS Brewtech. It was already graduated on the inside, and I'm a Culligan man here in Mansfield, Ohio, so I actually have a reverse osmosis system installed, and I have two lines coming out here. One is dechlorinated hard water so that I can do my stouts and porters, and then the other types of brews that I do, I have just pure RO water. Sometimes I blend as well just to get what I need on brewing water, but I have like a 20-gallon accumulator tank here with another little 3-gallon tank, and my RO system is over there, so the lines run all the way into my garage, and it's nothing complicated. I just got a valve on each line coming in here, and that allows me to blend water with whatever I want. So that's what we're doing with the kettle. I still have my hoist here. I did have to get a bigger bag at Brew in a Bag bag company. And one thing, I'm not sure if I had these before, I think I did, but I've got two of these 7-gallon SS Brewtech stainless steel fermenters, and I used this old freezer that I had bought, as you might see in earlier videos, still running strong with my Inkbird controller. I bought a real kind of cheap $15 heater, which goes inside the freezer as well, and then I would tape the sensor for the Inkbird right onto the side of the SS Brewtech. But recently, in the last couple months, I finally went and got a thermal well, and so that allows me to take and stick the thermometer probe right into the center of the beer. And if I do 2 batches, I really only need to have it in one, or rather, if I do a 10-gallon batch with splitting it up into 2 fermenters, I only need it in one, because the other one's going to be similar in temperature. But I've done a Pilsner with this and kept it at 50 degrees, real good, with 2370 yeast, and turned out really well. So here's my brewery now, and just wanted to let you guys know about it. But the other thing that makes it possible to be able to brew 10-gallon batches is the addition of this pump. And it's just one of those magnetic drive pumps. I think I got it on Amazon. And then I went to one of the homebrew online stores and bought a kit that has these quick connects so that I can quick connect to the pump off of my brew kettle, and then I run the lines over here, plug in the pump, and then what I do is I bought one of those smart outlets because this pump does not have a switch on it, and even if it did, it would be really hard to stand over my fermentation chamber and turn the switch on and quickly put the hose inside the fermenter. So what I do is I use a smart switch, and then I just use my phone or a smart outlet and I plug the pump right into it, and then I'm standing here. So I'll show you guys how I do that at the end of the brew day, and it might be a good tip for somebody to use. So I'm done with the mash and got my 7-in-1 pulley. I believe that's what you call it. I put it like a little cleat on the wall to tie it off to, and you could get a spool or something, or even one that retracts into a spool with a brake on it or something, but this was just the way that I did it. So I'll collect all the necessary wort, squeeze the bag some to get there, and then I'll start the boil. Well, I'm into my boil now with only about 15 minutes left, and so I'm going to start sanitizing some stuff. I have to sanitize the pump, and so what I do is this is a good opportunity for me to show you how I do it, but I put a bunch of sanitizer inside the one fermenter and use the hoses that normally go to the front of the kettle there, and use my kegerator, my portal kegerator here as a stand, and I just recirculate through all the tubing all the sanitizer, and it goes right back in, and that way this pump will be totally sanitized by the time I go to use it. And it doesn't take that long. I just let it go for a couple minutes and then I shut it off. But here I am in the boil, looking good. So I'll show you guys what I'm going to do once I actually cool the wort and then put the wort into the fermenters. And then what I do is I let them set in there for a while, sealed up, so that they can come to temperature before I pitch. Thanks. Hey guys, we're done cooling down the wort, so I can now transfer my wort into my two fermenters. So my setup here is I have a pump right down here, and it's one of those magnetic pumps, and then I found this kit online for the quick connects I was telling you about, and there's a quick connect there, and I showed you how I sanitize this whole system. It's really easy. And then, like I said, there's no switch that I can get to on that pump, and I got to be standing over here with my hose putting the wort into fermenters. So what I did was I have a smart switch down here on that plug, and then I use the app on my phone to go ahead and control the pump. And so I'm ready to go. I'm going to put half of it in this fermenter right here and half of it in that fermenter right there. And probably I can just make this come on so you guys can see it a little bit better. That's my inkjet or ink bird thing. I'm going to turn the light on so you guys can see. So now I've got the app here, and all I have to do is turn on the pump, and so I kind of try to split it up between both fermenters. So I run it for a while in this fermenter, and then I'll go ahead and shut off the pump and let it come out until it stops. Kind of hold it up so I don't get it all over inside my fermentation chamber, and then I go in here. So today I did an IPA, like I said, with Eldorado hops and Cascade hops. Had 30 pounds or 31.5 pounds of 2-row, 1.12 carapils, and I also had 4.5 pounds of Crystal 60. I was trying to see if I boosted up this recipe with a little bit more Crystal, if I would get a darker IPA. So we're going to try that out. But you can see how easy this is, where if I were normally having to lift up that big kettle, now all I do is pump it right into my fermenters. And the only lifting that I have to do in the whole process is really lifting these fermenters out when I'm finally done. So I'll get this all filled up and then I'll get ready to pitch later on. Thanks.